Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live. Here is a part of Lucas Live Media. My name is Lucas Tindell. I'm your host, and I have a beautiful, beautiful guest here in the studio today. My beautiful wife,
Corine Marie Tindell.
Miss Corine Marie Tindell. Welcome to the show.
Funny saying my whole name.
Your whole name. You don't want people finding out who you are.
Right.
Researching you, finding you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're glad to have you guys as you guys come into the broadcast. We want you guys to share this so your family and friends can see this. We're going to talk about love today. Yeah. Why love? Why we choose love? Why we write about love?
Yes.
Why we work so hard to have a loving relationship and a loving home, right?
Love is great.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that today. We welcome you guys. Enjoy the music as you guys come in. We'll let this music play a little bit as you guys join the room. If you're watching this by replay, thank you for being here. Don't turn it off. It's okay if you didn't catch it live. I mean, I think you should get up and start catching us live Tuesday, Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m., Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern. But, you know, it's all good.
It's all good.
We're happy you came, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do we need to share? I'm going to try to share.
Yeah, let's share it. We're going to also share it, okay? While you guys listen to this beautiful song, we're going to get on our phones and we're going to share too. Because we want you to share, we want to share too. So I'm going to go to Facebook. I got a notification from Lucas Live Media because I subscribed. I clicked get all notifications. What's up, Tamika? What's up, Christina? So we're going to go to our page. And it's going to see us sharing to your page, right? So here we are on our phone. And we're going to share this broadcast. Boom. And you're not going to do a watch party. Because if you do a watch party, it puts people in a separate little room by themselves in a basement in the dark. And nobody wants to be in a basement in the dark, okay? So just hit right to share the post. You can say, don't miss this episode or something. You know, that's what I'm going to say. Don't miss this episode. You can throw a hashtag in there if you want to. Make it public. That would be even cooler. It lets you either share to just your friends or make it public. You know, maybe all their posts are public. That's okay. But you want to make this one public. Good morning, Erica. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Hey, Tamika. Hey, Christina.
Thank you guys for being here.
Venus.
Hey, Miss Venus. I just talked to your son yesterday, and I told him to tell you I said hello. I don't know if he did, but it's okay. I just wanted to say hello. You remind me of my mom, and I know you know how much my mom loved you. So, Miss Venus, glad to have you here today. We thank you guys as you guys are joining, as you guys are waking up. You might be sending your kids off to school. You might have just let them go. You might be driving home. You can turn it on and let this play in your car, right? You can listen. You may not be able to.
I do sometimes.
That's what you do
grocery shop.
You do.
With
sometimes
my
you get
earphones
stuck.
in. Yeah.
Right?
I do get stuck.
Last week you got stuck in the grocery store. It was too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. The show was so good. Had a great guest on, and it was so good. She was in the grocery store and just was like, Kate, I got to listen. Good morning, right. Sharice. Glad to have you guys.
Hey, Sharice. Hey, sis.
Welcome, welcome. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about love today. I got my Lucas Live cup. Curly Pearly, I believe, is behind this. My producer, she'll jump in and help me out. She made this wonderful cup for us. Lucas Live. Y'all see that cup? Check that out. It's doing weird stuff with the camera, but it's okay. It's all good here today. I want to mess with it, but it might do something even crazier. So I feel like we're kind of glitching, but you know, if I do too much,
don't do too much.
It'll make it really weird. Okay, good. All right, so we're excited today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by shouting out our sponsors. It's crazy to have sponsors, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like, what's going on? Shamar, what's happening? Welcome to the show.
Hey, sister.
We're talking about love. That's your sister?
Yeah. Shamar is a baddie, just in case did nobody know that. I just wanted to throw that out there.
A baddie?
Yeah, her name is not Shamar anymore. Her name is Baddie.
Okay. I don't know what's going on there.
Shamar knows what's going on.
Shamar knows what's going on. Shout out to our great friend Shamar. Shamar Logan. Erica Burr is in here. She's on LinkedIn. You two gotta meet, Erica and Shamar. They remind me so much of each other. Mm-hmm. Erica was the first person who I talked to about relationship advice. We were in 6th grade. My youngest child is now in 6th grade. Me and Erica talked about relationships and all kind of stuff for years, and she let me practice. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Who was in a relationship in 6th grade?
She was.
Oh, okay.
She was pretty popular. So she was in a couple, I mean, you know, whatever. But, you know, she was trying to figure it out, you know, so.
Okay.
I was her guy. She called me, Lucas, what's going on with this, that? I'd be like, I don't know, dudes is, you know, they trying. But I've always appreciated that. We've stayed friends for, I don't know, it's been 20 years something. No, it's been over 20 years. I'm older than that. Anyway, no need to talk about that. And now Shamar, talking to Shamar. It's always a pleasure talking to her. coaching her with relationships. Shout out to Shamar. It's some kind of inside joke they got going on with some kind of baddie. I'm not getting into that. I don't know what y'all talking about. Shout out to Sarah Ray.
You had to be on Shamar's lives to know
I was
on.
Yeah, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, you missed that one.
I missed that one. All right, we'll go watch the replay. That's what you do when you miss it. Was trying to be grown. Erica said was trying to be grown. Hey, Erica, I needed that practice though, man. Like you birthed the gift in me, right? And we figured life out. It was cool. It was cool. Right. So we got to do that some more. We got to keep doing that. Shout out to
Sarah.
Aaron Dukes as well. Thank you for being here. Glad to have you guys. This is fun. I like having you in studio, first of all.
Thanks. I like being here.
Yeah, you're cute.
Exciting.
It's nice having you in the studio, man. That's cute, man. It's nice. Just looking over, and it's comfortable,
Yeah.
Like, we just talking. We just going to talk, and they get to watch.
Right.
So let's just talk about some stuff
Y'all
today.
see you flirting with me all on Facebook Live.
All up on the YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Periscope. We on everything out here. Flirting, acting up. This is some professional people. Shout out to all the professionals on LinkedIn who I've been connecting with, and we've been talking business. And many of you have said, I've seen your show. And I hope I'm nice and buttoned up on my show. Bryant Gumbel out here. But I'm not. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are interested in doing business nonetheless. So shout out to everybody. Amanda Jean Dukes, wonderful producer of the show. Welcome. Hey, Amanda, let us know who made this cup. Curly Pearly, Pearly Curly, Shirley, I don't know. Big Shirley, little Shirley, I don't know. I know, but shout out to her. And Amanda let us know in the comments.
Shout out to Curly Pearly.
Curly Pearly. Is that what it said? Did you see the little note? It was a little card. I left it on the counter.
I think so.
It's made the Lucas Live cup. We're going to have some Lucas Live merch coming soon.
Yeah. Good morning, Eb.
Real coffee in there. Eb. Lynette Beatty.
Good morning.
Shout out to the manager of the crew, Miss Lynette Beatty. Glad to have you. Pearly Curly. Kara J. Shout out to Pearly Curly, Kara J.
Curly.
If you want to get you some merch, shout out to her. She can make it happen. Yes. All right, she can make it happen for you. All right. Let's go. Let's hit these sponsors up real quick. Cause we got to pay the bills. That's what they say on TV.
Got to
pay the bills. So got to holler at the sponsors. Shout out to our first sponsor here. We're gonna throw this up here. Boom. We got Flawless Touch in the house.
Yes.
Check out Flawless Touch. Their professional technicians will enhance the appearance of your vehicle through window tinting, auto detailing, and audio installation while maintaining the integrity of your vehicle.
The integrity.
We know them. They do their thing.
They do their thing.
They do their thing over there.
They do.
You can check out a full list of services and pricings at flawlesstouchwindowtint.com or contact them for a free quote. Yes. Right, with the information on the screen. Let me make sure you guys can see all that. Y'all see that information. Y'all see that number there. Y'all see it. Yeah, all right, check them out. And then flawlesstouchwindowtint@gmail.com. If you're in Northeast Ohio and you're looking for some window tinting, trying to get your car right, trying to get your car cleaned up, trying to get your audio.
Want to flex on somebody
on the road. Flawless Touch. Shout out to them. And our newest sponsor, this is super cool. I gotta touch, this company got in touch with me. This is the company I use to broadcast the show. Yes. I use multiple platforms, okay? I use Ecamm Live, which is what makes stuff look cool. Like, it allows me to move stuff around on the screen and throw up scrolling stuff. Let me see what I got here. I can throw up scrolling stuff, if somebody wants to send me some money, oh, nope, that didn't work. I was going to push a button. Oh, wait, join the inner circle. See, I'm like, stuff works. It's so easy. It lets me do all this stuff. Like, boom, join the inner circle, right? If you guys aren't a part of the Lucas Live Inner Circle, this is real. You should probably go ahead and do that. We're doing some surveys. I did a survey for the top 5 for our new favorite show. We love the top 5. Shout out to G. Bush, Rashad, and all the homies on the top 5.
All the homies
on the top 5. Shout out to them. Aaron Dukes, shout out to him. He said that he did his window tinting. Shout out to Aaron Dukes and Pristine Steam Wash as well. All right, so Ecamm Live is what lets me do all this cool stuff. I'm going to try to find my overlay and throw that back up there with us on there. Boom, lets me do this stuff, right? But what I use to stream it out to all these platforms, LinkedIn, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, at the same time, is Restream right here. You guys, if you're thinking about broadcasting, putting something out there, you want to go live to multiple platforms, you're like, how does Lucas do it? He says he's on all these things at the same time. He must be magic. I ain't magic. I got Restream. Shout out to Restream. Restream is a cloud-based multi-streaming service that allows users to simultaneously stream video content to multiple platforms and social networks, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, LinkedIn, Periscope. It's all right here. Millions of people around the world use Restream to reach, engage, and monetize their audiences. Users range from professional and amateur gamers, Fortune 500 companies, media, politicians, and celebrities. So join Restream today at www.restream.io. Shout out to Restream. Y'all show them some love. They'll keep showing the show some love. Show them love. They show us love. We show you love. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're so glad everybody's jumping in. Shantia Smith, Angela Hardesty, Monique Lane. We see you guys. When you make comments, we see you. If you don't make comments, we don't see you, but we're glad you're here. Maybe you're like, I don't want to make a comment. I just want to kind of tip in on somebody's life and love, and I want to see what they talking about. And that, well, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to make a comment. You can just tip in and be peeking. That's fine. Welcome to the peeking,
welcome
whatever.
Welcome to it.
Welcome to it. We're glad to have you.
Good morning and hey.
Hey, Jamie, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. So yeah, feel free to do that, or if you make a comment, it lets us know you're in the room. If you want to join the discussion, if you want to ask questions, we love that. That's what makes the show so fun when you're here live, because you can actually engage. You can throw up, the laughing emojis, the hearts, the whatever. Right. You participate. When you're watching shows on TV, you be yelling at the TV sometime, right?
I do.
I do too.
Family Feud.
Oh, we was just watching that the other day. Man, we was going in. We be yelling like...
Trying to get our points.
Trying to get our points up.
On what's the round? The last round?
I wouldn't call it fast money. I don't know what it is. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds right.
That sounds good, right? I'm still, hey, yo, anybody remember Supermarket Sweep?
That was my mom's show.
That was your mom's show?
Yeah,
Don't make me seem old.
I watched it because she was watching it.
I don't even know what channel that came on, man. That was, man.
I feel like it came on like before Wheel of Fortune or something.
Nah, it came, well, I don't know. What I saw it on was like some random channel.
Bootleg.
It was it was like some local station. I don't know. Shout out to Supermarket Sweep. If you remember Supermarket Sweep, shout it out in the comments. Let us know we're not crazy. It was a great show. It was hilarious. I think it comes on some stuff now. You can find it. It's old school. Anyway, so welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about love today. Ladies and gentlemen, you might be married, single, dating, and you may be wondering like what it takes to have a successful relationship. We want to share some information. Mm-hmm. We are authors. Christina says Supermarket Sweep is coming back. I might live stream it on Lucas Live Media. Y'all better watch out. I'm not playing. All right. Yes. All right. Kelly Wilson, voiceover. Welcome. She said she loved watching it. I loved it too. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. Glad you're here with us on LinkedIn. Glad to have you. Leslie Jones is going to be the host. Oh, Lord, that's going to be crazy. So anyway, love. Let's talk about love. You may be on LinkedIn too. People on LinkedIn are they're not robots.
No.
People act like they're just professional robots who don't have lives and love, and they're working to, have a level of success professionally. But most of us work to have professional success in hopes of investing in our relationships, in our homes, in our children, in our families, right?
Absolutely.
So, Corine Marie, my lovely wife.
Yes, sir.
What do you think it takes to make a successful marriage?
A successful marriage?
Because marriage is different than dating, right?
Yeah, it is.
You can have successful dating because y'all go to the movies.
Yeah.
And you cuddle. Right? You cuddle every now and again, right? And so you might be happy dating, and then you get married, and you be like, till death.
Right.
And then people be grabbing knives, like, till death do us part. You be like, da-da-da. Like, watch out.
So a successful marriage, let me lean in.
Lean in.
This is always.
And y'all lean in.
Right. I think this is the hardest part. But you have to be selfless. And I think it's a battle between these two, because you don't want to give up too much of yourself. You don't want to let somebody else take advantage of you. You don't want to be the one that's always tapping out or always be the bigger person, because it can feel like, I always got to apologize first. I'm always coming to you to fix the situation or whatever. Right. But I think the more that the goal is for both people to be like that.
Sure.
And I think that's what makes a marriage successful, if both people are giving and being selfless enough, not worried about their own agenda, but worried about the greater good of the marriage and giving to the marriage, putting in, if that means you got to apologize, if that means you got to, take a L on something, because you never really take a L if it's for the marriage, because marriage is a team. You're supposed to win together or lose together.
That's how it is.
So
love it.
Yeah.
Great.
But it's hard because people are like, well, I'm not, saying sorry this time. I always say sorry, or I'm leaving this time because he always doing something. And that's tough, because sometimes one person is always doing something.
Yeah, it can happen. It's true. It's true. Or making the same mistake over and over. I know for me, there's things in our marriage that mistakes I make, and I'm like, man, that was dumb. You know, like I didn't mean to do that or not do the thing that I said I was going to do, or I said I was going to clean that up or fix that thing already, or whatever it may be, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, you've been patient, and you're like, I waited. You waited a day or 2 or 10, and I still haven't done it. And then you say something, and I do feel bad, you know? And I agree with what she's saying, ladies and gentlemen. People who struggle to be selfless in other areas of their life are going to have a hard time in marriage, because people, we don't realize how selfish our society is. Like, and if you agree with what we're saying about this, say agree in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you have other thoughts, we'd love to hear from you guys. Yes. Selflessness, man, I just think people think they're selfless because we all do some selfless things in life. Right. But I don't think people are ready for the selflessness of marriage. It's different. Right. It's different. With your kids, we're like, I'm so selfless, I do everything for these kids. But when you want to shut it down, you just shut it down. Mm-hmm. You're like, forget y'all. Sit down. Lay down. No, we're not having McDonald's. No. Eat this. Don't eat that. Sit down. You get to shut it down. You get to create the boundaries. In a marriage, you're both together, two people trying to create boundaries. I always say a marriage is like, it's a battle, not that it's a fight, but say it's a fight without a referee. Right. And so somebody might hit below the belt. Somebody might keep throwing blows to try to back the other person up and just keep hitting them with all bunch of nonsense, right? Thank you guys who agree. Candace, welcome to the show. Thank you guys who are here. So selflessness, the weight of it is something you have to learn to carry in all areas of your life. Yeah. And I think, too, like when you're married, you live with somebody every single day. You do everything together. True. Like the small things get to you, you know? Like you have to agree on a lot of stuff, you know? Like if you want to paint the wall blue and one person wants to paint it teal, you got to have that battle, you know? True. And then if whoever doesn't get to paint the wall their color, got to look at it for the rest of their natural life. That wall. Right, that teal wall. It's supposed to be blue. And she think it's blue, but it's teal. I can't take it. Right. So the smallest things you have to agree on. Yeah. And then when it's something bigger, you know, like one person think the kids are supposed to do this and the other person think the kids ain't supposed to do that. But you're like, what's the big deal? You know, like it's not that big of a deal. And the other person's like, it's a huge deal. Right. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of coming together. It's a lot of agreeing that you just have to do. Yes, I agree. Shout out to Kelly. She said, my marriage is the hardest, best thing in my life. Amen. Ain't that funny? Amen, Kelly. Parenting and marriage are two of the hardest, most rewarding things you can have or do. Shout out to Kayla here. Kayla on YouTube, not sure. Can't see a picture of Kayla, but that's okay. We're welcoming Kayla. Glad to have you. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, everybody. Yeah. Lucas Live Media. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and hit all. That way, every time we come on, anytime, day or night, you're like, boom, your phone goes off. You're like, oh, I almost missed it. Good thing. I want to see it. Or who is this guest? I want to see this guest. And maybe tomorrow I'm going to be tired and I can't catch it, but I can choose because I know. And on Lucas Live Media. Right now, if you're watching on Lucas Live Media, I believe that it should at the bottom of your screen on Facebook say, get all notifications. Like if you see that on there, make sure you hit that and tell it to give you all the notifications. That way you don't have to set 6 alarms to watch the show. I know some of y'all do it and I appreciate it. All right, we appreciate it. Shout out to our friend Amber Richardson. She said we need a ref sometimes. That's true, right? We do. And that's something we do, right, for couples. Corine and I play referee for couples in our coaching business, in our relationship coaching business, because it's hard. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we rewrote this book, and we want to talk about this a little bit. We've shared it before. We wrote our book, The Marriage Plan, for couples to come up with a plan. Yes. You know, it was really our gift to people. It was like we had the same conversation with so many couples, and we were thinking, people need a plan. Mm-hmm. They just don't. There's no plan. So it's like we are figuring everything out every day. You end up arguing more when you're trying to make every decision every day. If you have a plan already, though, that you worked out together. I worked on mine, the man edition. She worked on hers, the female edition. We blend them together. We decide what we're going to do in our marriage, with kids, with sex, where we live. All of these important topics. Money, right? And the plan is, sometimes when people think of a plan, you're like, okay, we're going to map out A, B, and C and follow that plan for the rest of your life. No, not really. Like, a plan is
simply have the conversation about it. I think a lot of people get married and don't even have conversations about a lot of things because you don't think to have the conversation about it. You're so in love. You're like in your honeymoon phase.
Yes, like whatever you want. No, whatever you want.
You're like, you want to paint the wall blue? Paint it blue.
Teal. No, let's do teal because you want teal.
Teal is cute.
Okay, I love teal.
But you get into
you get married.
You be like, how much did this paint cost?
Sick of this teal wall.
We're going to pay $100 for a bucket of paint?
Serious right now?
Like, yeah, you want to get the paint that's going to last. You got to go through all of that stuff. So finances come into it. Decision, selflessness, resiliency. Yes. All this stuff comes into something that seems like so simple.
It should be.
Yeah, it's so simple.
And I don't think it should be because it is God's model of his love for the church and his willingness to die for his bride. So it is a lot of submission on both sides, right? The church, in being the bride of Christ, has to prepare itself, has to stay ready, has to not get dirty in a sense, right? You got to stay ready. You got to keep the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins. You got to keep that fire going so that you're ready when the bridegroom comes. And that's the story of the Bible. And that's what marriage is about. God is trying to teach us this selfless act of willingness to die for each other daily. And here's the thing. People are often willing to say they'll die for each other, but I don't think they will. Like what I think is people will physically die before they would socially die. Mm-hmm. Or emotionally die. Like I'm not willing to put my emotions in check and let those die off. I'd rather jump in front of a bus or a bullet because then I ain't got to be around to deal with the emotions, right?
Right.
But people often don't want to stop. Not that you can't have time with your friends and all those things, but sometimes people still want to be going out every weekend or doing certain things. What do you think about people's unwillingness to really lay down their life in that? And not fully, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like you can't have friends. You should have friends and should have all those things. But a lot of times it's easier to say, I'll die for you, but I won't really lay down my life.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that when two people come together and they choose to put their lives together, like both of them should be willing to lay down their lives, the old lives they had, or neglect it in order to come up with a life together. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go out with your friends, but you need to connect it with how your future life with your spouse is, Like if you guys are going to go on dates every weekend, you can't be out with your friends
homies.
every weekend. Yeah, with
can't
the homies.
Be with the homies.
Or if you guys have kids, like one person can't be at home with the kids all weekend while the other person is, cooking, cleaning, and all that other stuff kids need to do, homework, asking for stuff,
Right.
Like that burden shouldn't be on one person if you chose to have a life with these, with each other. So
absolutely,
you have to come up with things that work for both of you.
Right.
And that means letting go of your ways that only benefit you.
You got to lay down your life.
Yeah, so it can benefit both of you.
You got to lay down your life, ladies and gentlemen. And most people, I don't want to say, well, clearly with the divorce rate, and I can't judge because I was married and divorced prior to me and Corine meeting. By the time I was 25, I was married and divorced already. Like that was nuts. I mean, by the time I was 23, I think I was married and divorced already. It was crazy. But I mean, we failed to have these conversations. We failed, and pardon my sticky notes because I got study notes in here. We failed to really make a plan. If you guys are interested in getting the marriage plan, we have the marriage plan. There are 2 books. There's one for men, one for women. If you're married or dating or in a serious relationship, you want to get both. And you can get these at tindelltraining.com. It's at the bottom of your screen. If you're single, we're now recommending men get the books are the same, but it gives you get the blue one and the girl get the red one. I mean, or whatever. Get the other way around. We don't care. But it gives you a chance to make a plan. There's places to score yourself. You guys can't see that. Let me try to... I don't know. Score yourself. Oh, look, the camera fixed a little bit. Score yourself. It gives you a place to write, do some journaling, do some thinking. And
if you're single, this is a good place to learn about some of the conversations that you should have when you're dating, Like if you might need to talk about like money when you're dating and looking to marry somebody.
Yeah.
What expectations you have for a marriage.
Yeah.
Chores and household. Let me tell you, that one trips a lot of couples up.
It does.
The chores and household thing, like you don't know how it's going to be like to live with somebody.
And opposites attract.
Yeah, and opposites attract that's what we've seen a lot when, you know,
with
just
couples
talking
that
to
we
couples.
work with and with us. Yeah.
Yeah, you just check your religion. Like, if you're going to still be dating after you're married, that's another thing. Like, people are like, we don't, you know, do nothing anymore. All we do is stay in the house.
Right.
Y'all need to talk about that. Like, set up date nights every week, month, or however you can, you know, do.
Right.
Or, you know, praying and fasting together, dealing with loss. Like, there's a lot of loss that happens throughout marriage.
That's deep.
And people change after a loss, you know. It could be a job loss. It could be a family member loss, you know, somebody dies.
Right.
It can be a lot of stuff. So just talking about that and getting ready for that and just having that conversation, you can never, like, really prepare, like, how, you know, like, plan, like, exactly what you're going to do after somebody dies. But it's good to have that conversation. Because people, they just change a lot after a loss happens.
Yeah.
We've
been there. We've been there. Yep. So let's shout out some people who jumped in. We want to thank you guys who are jumping in, commenting. Candace Sellers, we see you on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for all your comments. I did see a question, too, that I put up on the screen. I had it on the screen. I'm going to find it.
Ebony
talking about my life. I had to fight. She ain't fighting in her marriage. All my life I had to. You told Harpo to beat me.
That's right, Eb. We ain't fighting in no marriage.
Fighting in no marriage, right? All my life I had to fight. She done fighting. Sacrificial love. Thank you, Candace. Amanda, thank you. Find the balance. Absolutely, we have to. Jackie Scott, shout out to her and her husband. Married many years. Beautiful marriage. Still dating, still loving each other. Shout out to them. Single women here just taking notes. Shout out to Shamar.
Yes, Batty.
That's it. That's it. Take notes, learn, because what a lot of people don't do who are single is prepare for marriage. They swear they're ready. They think that all the heartbreak has prepared them. No, all the heartbreak has broken your heart. All the heartbreak has stopped you from trusting. All the heartbreak has caused you to be selfish, not selfless. Because human nature is about self-preservation. Your body is not made for marriage. Your brain is not thinking marriage. Your brain is thinking self-preservation. Keep me safe. Now, being in a marriage creates a tribe that can keep you safe. So there's safety in numbers, and our brain kind of biologically understands that. But it's not thinking I got to be till death do us part, married with somebody and one person forever. It's a tricky thing. So we have to override that. Shout out to Aaron. He said highly recommends these books. Thank you so much. You guys can get these books again at TindellTraining.com. Shout out to Ann Holloway. She said, if I had a fear of getting married again, she said, it is a fear of losing myself. So she had a fear. And she said, and losing all freedom, fear of losing herself and losing all freedom. I don't want to be suffocated. Now, that's the thing, though. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, it's suffocating. If you're in a healthy relationship, you breathe with more lungs than you had before, right? Like I have more breath. When I lost my mom, in March, I didn't have the oxygen to breathe. I was struggling. My wife breathed for me. She prayed for me. She loved me through it. She held me. I cried to her when I couldn't cry to anybody else because I would have cried to my mom, but my mom wasn't there. So it's not suffocating, right? Some people, it's like people think walking with God is suffocating because they're like, it's too much, it's too many rules, it's too many. I don't know what church that particular person goes to, but walking in God, walking in Christ should be liberating, right? It should give you more freedom in Him to live a more blessed life. Again, shout out to Sana. Glad to have you here, Janine.
And I think the thing is, like, when you're in a relationship, like, you have to listen to your intuition, your gut. Like, like, if you feel suffocated, something is not right in that relationship. And we know the difference between what's good for us and what's not good for us. Like, a relationship, you can compare it to, like, a friendship, Like, when you have a good friendship with somebody and when the friendship is toxic. So you have to know, like, you shouldn't be laying down your life for somebody and, if it ain't
they
right.
Won't even get off, click over, get off the phone to talk to you when you need it.
Yeah, if it's not right. Yep. So you have to pay attention to those things. We all know things that are abusive that aren't right, and you shouldn't feel like that in a relationship with anybody.
Yep.
Friends, family, marriage.
Right.
Nothing.
And it will be, everything is going to be challenging.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that at the first sign of discomfort you run or you shouldn't get married. It's not that at the first sign that this friendship, we were so good before we got married. Now that doesn't mean you run. You have to be committed. One thing my wife and I did, was we committed to each other, right? We were like, we are not saying that bad, evil word.
You gotta adjust.
You gotta adjust. That's cool. We're not saying the evil word that leads to marriages not being together. That's not a word. We ain't calling no attorneys.
Right.
We're gonna call pastors, leaders, family, those who love and support us. People who came to your wedding are supposed to be the witnesses to help hold that marriage together. Those should be people you can count on and call and say, we need some help. But you don't want to call the person who'll be like, man, you better leave, man.
Right. You got to call people that's like advocates of marriage,
Yeah.
who want you to be together. It's not going to be like, you gotta leave at, whatever moment because you don't have this or you don't have that. Yeah.
Right.
So it's about healthy boundaries and healthy relationship choices.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Shamar. She said, Lucas is coaching me to prepare for marriage and poor him because I'm so impatient. I really keep asking Lucas how long. It's okay, Shamar. We have the most real conversation. Shout out to Shamar. She takes the advice. She listens. It's simple. And I'm like, listen, it's like this. And I just say, here's what God is saying. Like, here's what you got to do to prepare. And it's a journey for everybody. God's time is not our time, but it doesn't mean it's going to be forever. We just have to prepare.
You have to prepare because there's a lot of unhappy people in marriage.
It's a lot of lonely.
That's a lot of single people that's like, I want to get married, and it's a lot of married people like,
I want to get out.
I'm trying to throw my whole wife, whole husband away. My
whole husband. He got to go. The boy ain't mine. They like that boy ain't mine. You can have him.
Yeah. Right? So that's what we talk about. Like marriage is not supposed to be like this thing that's like stressful, but it's not supposed to be
this cake
rainbows and butterflies and honeymoon either.
Right, and it's important
because you're just two people. That. You're different people,
right?
And I think that's the biggest thing. Like you have to look at when you get into marriage. Like this person is different than me. They grew up differently. Right. They have different ideas. They have they're just different. You know, just like your children. Like sometimes me and my daughter battle, and I have to tell myself like all the time, she's different than me. She doesn't want to wear her hair this way. Fine, like I won't do her hair. If she want to look like this, I'll let her look like that.
You want to look crazy? Gone.
She want to wear boots in the summer. I'm like wear boots in the summer. Like she's just different. It doesn't mean it's bad. Like maybe that's her fashion.
Might be her expressing herself.
Yeah, her fashion expression.
Yeah.
And if she wants to express herself that way, who am I to say like that's wrong or whatever?
Yeah.
And the same thing you have to do with your spouse. Like if they want to express their way a different way, as long as it's not hurting you or hurting other people.
Yep.
Like
get over it.
Yeah.
You got to get over yourself.
Love that person.
And this is something I challenge people to do. Okay. And Shamar can tell you this. One thing me and Shamar did was I challenged Shamar to be loving to everybody around her. Now Shamar, I hope you don't mind me telling. I'm already telling. I hope you don't mind. I'm already out here now. And she's a very loving person, and people feel a lot of love from her, she always said, but she didn't say I love you a lot. She didn't express love in a certain way, right? Especially verbally by saying I love you, texting friends, I love you, telling people, I'm thinking of you, I love you, thank you for everything you've done for me, I love you. If you're single right now, or dating or married, you better build the muscle of showing love. Because a lot of people, and everybody's not words of affirmation, don't get me wrong, everybody's not a words person, but it is a great exercise in just working out that love thing and just making sure you're telling people how much they mean to you and not just saying, I love you. One thing I used to always ask my wife this, and she would ask me, and I think we still do sometime, we'd be like, I love you. And we'd be like, why? Right? And that's a great question. Shouldn't be an insult. It should be more than empty words. It's like, Lord, I worship you. And if he were like, why? Would you be like, because the pastor says so, right? Because you're worthy. What does that mean? Why am I worthy? Why am I worth it? And so then you start breaking down to God and you start counting your blessings. Well, because you feed me, because you clothe me, because I lost my job and you provided for me, because I didn't deserve the wonderful wife that you gave me and you helped me be the man I needed to be to have her, because you taught me to be a father, because you brought my father home from prison, because whatever your story is, right? You start to value the worth of God and you start to worship God because you're actually calculating his worthiness to you.
Right.
And when you know the worth of God, worship is easy. Mm-hmm. When you don't, you're in church like, why are these people crying? Why are they jumping? Why are they shouting? These people crazy. They must be crazy. Right. But when you know the word, likewise in your marriage, you got to build that muscle. But you should build it with your family, your friends. You should start texting people. I'm thinking about you. I love you. Thank you for that day 5 years ago when you made that birthday cake. I really loved it. Thank you for checking on me when I was sick a year ago. Stop taking people around you for granted. Build the muscle of love. Build that up. Start showing and expressing love to everybody around you. Then when you get in a relationship and you get in a marriage, you won't be saying, well, I'm just not that expressive. Mm-hmm. Dudes be saying that. I just don't know how to show emotion. Women who've been hurt say that. I don't know how to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. Well, you better start practicing.
Right. And here's a great example of how to love somebody. Like I just gave y'all the analogy of my daughter wanting to wear boots in the summertime. I'm like, why she got those boots on in the summertime? When I see her in those boots, here's love. You look nice today. Even though I don't think she should have those boots on, but I don't have to keep saying that or whatever. Just say, because you know that's her way of expressing herself, or that's your spouse's way of expressing themselves. So just say, encourage them in that thing. You look nice today. Yes. I love that you're doing this, you know. Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That's love. Love is not continuing to look at things the selfish way and saying, well, I don't like it because it wasn't my idea. Like that's not what it's about. Shout out to Rosie. Thank you for being here. Rosie, you got to tell us where you're at right now. Where in the world are you? I'd love to know. Shout out to Rosie. That's G. Bush's fiance. Shout out to her. Committed to each other. Absolutely. We have to be. Shout out to Tina Frazier. Let me see what she said. She said, the fact that a person has taken space in my life for 4 years and admitted he wore a mask has me super hesitant again to date or even remarry. I feel we were never even real friends now. Fatal distraction. Wow. Well put. I like that. Fatal distraction. Here's the thing. We've all made relationship mistakes. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a successful relationship before me?
Nope. They were all cheating, lying. All right, go ahead.
Nor have I. I've never had a successful relationship. And let me say this. I had some really nice ladies that I was in relationships with. But it didn't work. And it wasn't meant to be. And we didn't figure out how to make it go forward. And we just decided not to go forward, right? And I had some difficult relationships. But I've never had a successful relationship until now. So the sad thing is sometimes we think because we've had failed things in the past, we can't have anything good in the future. Or we think we can, but we don't know if we ever will, if we don't know we'll meet the right person. Life is more than meeting the right person. We have to be the right person, right? And when we are the right person, we attract better people and we then commit and we put in work and time. Are you investing? Somebody today is going to order the marriage plan and they're single and they're going to order and they're going to start preparing. Somebody's dating. They're going to order it. They're going to start preparing. They're married. They're going to order it and they're going to start getting it right and getting things together and start doing a plan. Even if your spouse ain't ready. Even if your spouse like, I ain't doing no book. You start working on it. At least start thinking about it. Then you can start slowly asking them some of these questions over dinner. They won't even know what hit them. And before you know it, you guys will have a plan together, you know?
And I want to ask Tina, what did she learn from that relationship? You have to take what you learned from a bad relationship and take it to the next one. So that means like you should know how to recognize some signs of people wearing a mask now. You know, you should better be able to decode that. Like before, like I said, I dated a lot of, guys that were cheaters. Yeah. Granted, I was young. I don't want to be on here on the Facebook Live and whatever other live.
Let's call out some names.
Talking about people. Everybody Twitter was young, but you pick up things. You know from the first time you get cheated on that when the phone is hidden. When the phone is in the bathroom with the dude, With the soap. I always say when they're in there with the soap and the phone, they washing up with the phone because they got it in the shower. Or when he real protective of his phone, you gotta raise your eyebrow. Like, why you holding on to that phone so tight, Like, why you got it turned over? Like,
all the time.
Every time it buzzes, you jumping.
And then you talking about you don't respect my privacy. I have a right. You don't trust me. That's a smokescreen. That's gaslighting. That's a distraction. That's madness.
What I'm saying is pay attention to the signs. So when I moved on to the next relationship and I seen somebody guarding their phone again or, you just pick up things along the way and and even if you don't find anything, you have to trust your intuition. That is a gift from God.
Yes.
Like, you feel something, you don't feel it for no reason. And sometimes we stay in things, talk about, I got to prove it. I got to see. Why you got to prove something? Why you got to see it with your own eyes? If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel good, protected, and taken care of, why you got to wait until it
blow up in your face,
hit you like a ton of bricks, and you laid out?
You get hit with one brick at a time, but you're like, I don't think that was a brick. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. Thank you so much. Your friend, you got your friend here.
Hey, Wilma.
Jumped on in. Welcome, Wilma. Glad to have you here.
Hey, sis.
Yep. Shout out to Jamie. She said she's going to order her book today.
Yes, Jamie.
And this isn't an infomercial, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here just to sell the book.
Right.
We 100% believe that we've already seen this book change lives. We've already seen this book correct marriages that were really in a bad place. We've seen it reset them and get them on track. Mm-hmm. We wrote this. It was from God. I mean, we wrote a book together.
Yeah.
I mean, that was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was fun.
And I think it was your idea. So I gotta, shout you out.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was. Yeah, deflection, gaslighting. Yeah, you got to be careful. And that's another thing. Yes, when it comes to that, that's another thing about a plan. Our plan would say at any time, either one of us could go through the other person's phone. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't really do it, but...
That was our plan, yeah.
That was our plan.
Yeah.
But here's the danger. People say, well, I can, but I don't, because I don't want to be that girl, or I don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the girl or guy that gets cheated on is what you don't want to be. Mm-hmm. So stop making up these fake rules because you heard your friend say it and it sounded good, but their relationship has been solid, so that's why they don't do it. Your relationship been shaky from day one. You need to do it, but you won't do it because you don't want to be snooping, or you don't want to be, you better be Snoop Dogg. If you think you got a dog, you better be Snoop Dogg. And you better get to looking. All right? You better check. All right? It's not wrong to check. I just think it's important. And what I think of when I think of my phone, my social media, my email, my wife has access to all these things. We actually share our passwords. I make sure she has passwords to everything. If I update a password, I update it so she knows where it's at. Because I don't want closets to hide skeletons. If you have closets, you hide skeletons.
And I don't even think that's why you do it. I think we share a life together, you know?
True.
Like, what if something happens to you and I need to get into your stuff?
True.
True. I got to be searching, you know. I got to turn into Snoop Dogg.
You got to turn into Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Just to figure something out. Yeah.
To my man Derek Curry in the house. Derek said they did the marriage plan. He said he got a perfect score. You also score yourself and your spouse scores you, or your person you're dating. Yeah. They score you on different things in the marriage plan. And which is really fun because it opens up conversation that you wouldn't have. Like my wife said, when you're dating and you're in the early infatuation phase, and remember, Dr. Gary Chapman in the book The 5 Love Languages said the infatuation phase can last 1 to 2 years or 1 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So most people are married by then. And when the infatuation phase, which is like the rose-colored glasses, you see everything is good, when that junk goes away and you start looking around, it's like when you wake up and realize the world ain't what you thought it was. When you're like, people are racist and everybody don't love the Lord, and you like, it's culture shock.
Yeah.
When those glasses come off and you realize in your relationship that person is not what you thought they were, but you've committed till death do you part.
Or you seen it and you just brushed over it because,
you
know, she was fine or he was fine. You know?
Look good.
Yeah. But when you got to deal with it every day, and when somebody stop being fine, you know, because that happens, you know. Yeah. Your earrings come off. Sometimes hair come off. Sometimes, you know, dude ain't shaved. He start losing his hair. People get a little chubby, you know. Like, things just happen.
Things happen.
That's why you shouldn't be all, you know, gung-ho for somebody because of how they look in the first place. But that's just human nature.
Yeah, and shout out, and this is something that I think is important too for people as they get older. As people get older, they tend to, your metabolism slows. You're not the same. All of us know people who in high school they were like models, guys and girls, and they got a little older and they don't look like that anymore. That doesn't mean they're unlovable, right? And to me, what did William say? Women of a certain age.
I'm laughing at Shamar's comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what did William say? Women of a certain age, right? As you get older, even 30s and 40s and things, you're not going to look like you looked when you're 20. To me, as a woman gets older, and you always said this about men, you said you thought men looked better as they got older.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
To me.
Yeah. And I think that about women. To me, I'm like, she looks like a grown woman. You look like a woman, not like a kid. You don't may not have a six-pack, but so what? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's important, and I think we all need to be healthy and live healthy lives, and work out, eat right, do those things. But at the same time, I think it's important for us to learn to love ourselves and not be in that place where it's like, well, I put on a couple pounds, I'm not lovable. Like, come on, you 40, you 35.
Richard, log off.
Shout out to Richard. Hey, Richard's in the house. One more shout out to Flawless Touch right here. Y'all make sure y'all check out Flawless Touch. Richard is in the house. That's the man behind the plan. Check it out. Flawless Touch. If you missed the commercial earlier, go back and watch the replay. Make sure you check out Flawless Touch for all your window tinting needs, audio, and detailing needs. Shout out to Richard. Thanks for being here. Now, we had a couple other comments that I wanted to get to. Wait. Okay, so Tasha Ellis. Shout out to Tasha Ellis. Tasha Ellis wakes up at a certain time every day because Tasha Ellis jumps on the show about 8:20 and she'll be like, "Good morning." Like, Tasha, where you been? What's up? Right? Tasha like, "I'm here now. Time the show can get started." It's all good. We love you, so it's all good.
Hey,
Shout out to
Tasha.
Tasha. She said it's not wrong to be transparent in your relationship. It holds you and your spouse accountable. Exactly.
Yes.
It's not crazy. It's not wrong. We got a ring on our doorbell ring. Anybody got a ring? And so every time somebody comes in and out or comes home and there's motion, it goes off and you can watch the video from anywhere and all of that. I'll be like, I know some mugs out there getting caught up with the ring. There's some people out there that forgot they got a ring and somebody creeping around. I'm like, technology gonna solve some of these problems.
We'll get our kids caught up too.
Yep.
Like, what the?
We be watching. Right. We be like, who just came over to the house? What did Shamar say you was laughing at here?
I'm assuming you mean have access and not wait until he's asleep because he's a heavy sleeper and uses his thumb to open the phone and start looking. I mean, I heard folks do that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, Shamar. Don't Snoop Dogg like that. You know?
Well,
have
here's the
some
deal.
Access.
Well, I mean, I think you should agree.
Well, I think you should have a conversation about it. If somebody's like, no, I don't like people all up in my phone. Like, have a conversation. What do you do? Have a conversation
okay, let's play this out.
Why.
Let's play this out.
Take a mental note.
Let's play this out.
Okay.
Let's role play.
All right.
All right. So, is this my phone or your phone?
That's my phone.
Where'd my phone go?
I don't know.
I had it because I shared the show.
You can find it later.
All right, we'll find it. I done lost my show. I done lost my phone. Lord, lost my show and my phone. All right. So, boom, boom, boom. I'm on my phone all the time, looking down on the phone all the time on the phone. Mm-hmm. All right. And you... What? You come to me, you want to, what do you say? Can I look through your phone? What do you say? Go ahead.
Not can I look through your phone.
Just say what you say, honey.
Okay, so.
we not us. We somebody else.
So we're just dating?
We're dating. Well, let's say we're seriously committed.
Okay.
We're like, about to be in, you looking
on your
for that
phone
ring.
all the time. Let's have a conversation about, what you doing on your phone. You on Facebook? You texting?
Well, babe, I love, I watch my sports. I watch my shows. Yes, I'm texting, my dad. I was checking on him. I be on social media, too. You be on social media, too. Everybody be on social media. I see you on there.
Well, right now, we're doing something, so.
Well, I don't mind getting off right now, but I don't understand why when we're not talking or doing something, you always want me to get off my phone. I don't understand.
Well, I just want to know why you always on the phone.
Are you accusing me of something?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to know what's going on. I just want to have a conversation about it.
Okay, well, I guess this I don't mean no disrespect. That's what you say before you disrespect people. Right. No disrespect. But, I don't mind getting off right now if we're going to do something. But when we're not doing stuff, I probably will be on my phone. That's what, 90% of America does. Okay.
Well, you seem kind of offended that I asked. So.
I'm just offended because you always bring this up. And it feels like you're accusing me of something, like I'm cheating or like I'm doing something wrong. That's not even me. You know that ain't me. You know I don't even cheat. You know that ain't how I get down.
I'm not accusing you. I'm telling you that it makes me feel some kind of way. Okay. When you're always on your phone. Okay. So I'm asking you about it instead of, keeping it to myself. Okay. Cool. Letting this build up.
Cool. As long as you don't be trying to go through my phone all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you if you ask me.
Do you mind if we look through your phone?
But here's the thing, you should trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do trust you.
Then you don't need to look through my phone.
Well, what's in your phone that you don't want me to see?
Nothing. It's my phone, though.
Okay.
So back up off my phone.
Okay, so here we go.
And that's what happens to a lot of people.
Here we go from here.
Look, Tamar said this role play is giving me PTSD, right? That's for real conversation, ain't it, y'all? That be happening. Man, Tina said it sounds like a past conversation. People are going through it. This is real, all right? The kid is at Mary X had this debate all the time. Oh, man, people going through it.
Right.
All right.
What I want to know is why, and dudes on here, explain it to me, if you can. Why are dudes, because it's mostly the dudes that's like, this is my phone.
True.
My phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like people in my business.
Yep.
It's my privacy. I want to have something that's...
Sound like teenagers. My room, my privacy.
It sounds like, I mean, I want to have something that's just private, just for me.
Right?
And that's weird. When somebody needs something that's, just private, just for them, and they always looking at it, always doing it, always on it, in front of your woman.
Right.
Something ain't right.
Right. All right, Richard, we got a guy here. He said, if in that instance you feel some type of way, does that constitute reason to check? Yes. Yeah. It's the check engine light. Yeah. There's something inside of us that says, I need to check. It's our internal check engine light. And the check engine light sometimes comes on for no reason. It just is a fluke. So here's the cool part about it for ladies and gentlemen. If the other person wants to check and they check and they find nothing, that builds trust. So I love it. I would love for things that it's like great because, and again, we haven't had that, but it builds trust. And that's so nice. We can't get enough trust. Trust is earned, as Christina said earlier. Like, great, yes, please. And don't throw it at them. Be like, look at it. Go ahead. Right. You ain't going to find that. You're sorry, crazy person.
Let me tell y'all a secret. Women do not just want to be checking through your phone. Like, we want to trust y'all. Yes. We just listening to our intuition. We're not going to neglect that, you shouldn't. Yeah, we're not going to neglect it. And it's better for you if you just let her get it off her chest so she can trust you. And you don't got to deal. Like, I got all his passwords and stuff. I don't be looking through his stuff because I don't care. Because at this point, I feel like I can trust you.
And death will do us part. Toasts. I guess that's over.
I feel like it don't get no better than me as a wife. So if that's what you want to do,
you said that. If
that's what you want to do,
right. Go for it, buddy.
Right.
Get you something else if you want to, brother. See what happens.
That's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do. This is how you want to live your raggedy life. So as a woman, you go for it, brother. Yes. But
we don't want to be checking through your phones,
I agree. I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah, just establish that trust, that connection initially. Like, it's stupid to be fighting about, the phone and stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's real.
Yeah.
It's a real thing, and we're glad we were able to I'm glad it's a real thing, and I'm glad we're able to talk about it because we know so many people are bound by this, and people don't feel safe to bring it up. You feel like you're wrong. What you laughing at?
Ebony, she said, "Come on, sis. If you want to mess up all of this,
all of this,
right?
My wife and kids, all of this,
right? All of this."
Shout out to my wife and kids. If y'all never seen that show, you might want to go ahead and order some episodes on Apple. Yeah. Okay. So Ann said, someone checking my phones feels like TSA pat down. Need help in this area. Yeah, I don't. So to me, people didn't have phones, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Now phones have. Radio Shack went out of business because 90% of what Radio Shack sold is now on your phone. Like, if you go back and look at an old Radio Shack ad, they had voice recorders and music devices and half of the junk they had. Literally, there was an article that said they went out of business because it's now on our phone, in our pocket. They sold phones and cordless phones and all of that stuff. It's on our phone. So we have to realize that there is a lot that's held in those phones, and there's a lot of opportunity to do wrong. Social media creates a whole new world. I always say, people would say there's plenty of fish in the sea, but they couldn't see the sea. They couldn't see the fish. Social media lets you see the fish in the sea. Married, dating, single. I see women on social media. She sees men on social media. You didn't know they're on there. I didn't delete all the women from my feed. They're there. They exist, right? And I can see who's single, and I can see, right? So you can see the fish in the sea. You could start lingering and looking and peeking and thinking, and all of that stuff could start happening. You have to have some discipline. You have to have some conversation about it. You got to have some God with you. You got to have some stuff to keep you in so that you don't get out there, because it's easy to get out there. So even good people go wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? We was watching that Dateline the other day. Yeah. That went crazy.
That was crazy.
Man, we seen a pastor in a throuple.
In the throuple?
Pastor was in a throuple. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Right. He had a wife, and then he got a side chick.
That was
she
living
had
in
a
the
baby.
house.
It was just like Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar.
Yeah.
Hagar. What's her name?
Yep,
Hagar.
yep.
It's like, brother, you read this in the Bible. You saw how this ended up. Dude ended up in jail. That's all I'm going to say about
Yeah,
it.
he ended up in jail. They found a body. That's all we got to say.
Yeah.
The backyard had to be
Our
dug
time
up.
is running out real
Well,
quick.
you cool? We got a little. You can go a little longer.
Yeah, I do have some stuff to do.
Stuff to do. The people need us, babe. You're on my show. I cannot believe it. All right.
But I can stay a little bit longer.
Right. Okay. She can stay a little bit longer. We thank you guys for your
final
comments.
episode of
Your book.
My book.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So, not only.
Do we just want to still stay on this phone
all right.
conversation?
This is fun. Christina just asked a great question real quick, babe, and I'd like to talk about it because I struggle with this one. What about why did you like her picture? Okay? Mm-hmm. That's tricky, especially for me. Because, I have, like, female friends who many are on here or whatever. And sometimes I'm like, or they made a comment that was like, I'm winning. Like Shamar might make something like, I'm doing my, and I want to like that picture. And there's days where I'll be like, I ain't going to like that picture. But I look like I'm liking the picture, right? So what do you think? And I know each couple needs to decide this for themselves, I think. Mm-hmm. But Christina asked, what's the deal with liking pictures and stuff?
I don't know. Like this one for me, it's like I don't really care, Mm-hmm. But I think men need to listen to their own feelings and advice. So if you see your girl on Facebook liking some dude's picture and he got on no shirt and he all greased up and junk,
good point.
You're gonna be like, why you liking that dude's picture?
Right.
So if you see a girl on Facebook and she all greased up, with
right.
her shirt barely on, you know, it's like why you liking that picture? It just looks bad. Like sometimes, like in your relationship, okay, like you cannot. Sometimes you're not doing anything at all. You're not cheating. You're not even thinking or looking or thinking about it at all. But to protect your spouse's feelings, like you have to do things. You have to be careful. You can't just be out to eat with your male friend that you just met on Facebook and we just talking about some, business or whatever like that. And you don't talk to your husband about it. You don't put some precautions in place. Right. You don't, like there's certain things you don't do because it looks bad, Right. So if you're out with somebody you just met on the Facebook Messenger to talk about business, your husband or your wife need to know about it.
Oh, for sure.
They need to know where you at, because it like those things, it just feels like common courtesy. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you out here doing whatever you want to do? Like you aren't in a relationship, and then you get caught off guard when somebody asks you about it. You get a picture from somebody, from one of your friends, like, girl, your husband is at the coffee shop right now with this chick. Look what she got on, and you don't even know about it. Of course, your wife is going to come ask you about it because you didn't handle your business and do what you were supposed to do. Vice versa. Of course, your husband is going to ask you about it because you didn't handle your business and do what you have to do. Do things,
what you got to do.
Do things the
decently
right
and in order,
right.
as the Bible would say.
Yes.
Decently
do things the right
and
way.
in order.
I don't understand how people get in relationships but don't want to have
accountability.
Yeah, have no accountability.
You got a job, you accountable.
Yeah.
People are more accountable to their kids
at work.
than they are to their
Like you have to have accountability to each other. You guys are doing life together,
yes.
but you acting like you're doing life alone.
Separate. And people do that.
So you got a phone.
It's your own separate life.
Yeah, it's your own separate life. Your wife don't know nothing about it. She don't know who text messaging you about business or whatever.
Versus whatever.
Because just let's be honest, you guys. Like, we're human. Things happen. Right. Like you said, the
pastor
dude
was in a throuple.
He got caught up.
Oh, boy had 2 wives.
Yeah, his wife, she let it go on. She let the girl move in and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. So it got out of hand.
Yeah.
But you have to be accountable because things get out of hand.
Yep.
One message might start out, and that doesn't mean, like, I don't remember the last time I checked your phone, you know? Don't? Because we have
It was last Tuesday.
Because we have these conversations, I'm comfortable and I feel secure in our relationship that I know I don't have to check it. Like, you talk to all kind of females. That's your personality. Right. I know you.
Don't make me sound like no dog. No doggy dog. Snoop Dogg, no, just playing.
Well,
but yeah,
I know you.
True.
We have that.
Many of whom are here today,
yeah,
right?
We have that accountability.
Right.
But when you're talking to females on your phone and you never let your girl know about it, it looks bad. Yep. And that's why she asking to look through your phone, because you don't tell her nothing. You don't have no accountability. You out here acting like you ain't in a relationship, and you are.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Very good. Now, people want to know about your book. Okay. Tasha, like, what episode of what? People don't know what she like. What's up? Tamika and a couple other people said they don't want your book to end. Sharice, she say final episode. Yes. Tell them a little bit about the book and episode. And this is a love story. Yeah. You write love stories, babe.
So it's called Without Boots.
Amazing.
And it's about a man who just, gets out of jail and he's navigating life. It's based on the quotes, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But what if you have never had any boots? Nobody in life pulls himself up without their bootstraps. You need people and a community around you to help you out, especially when you got to get out of jail. So it's about this guy just trying to get his life back in order. He went to jail when he was 14 years old. So he's getting out 10 years later. And here he is. And this love story unfolds. I wrote it as a script at first.
As a movie script.
Yeah, as a movie script. But when COVID hit.
To all the movie producers out there watching, we got scripts over here.
When the coronavirus hit, I was like, I want to give, something to the people, a love story, because a love story always makes us feel good.
Love.
A good black love story,
Black love. Even more beautiful.
So I've been putting it out every week in episodes, like a TV series. This is what happens.
You've been putting it out where? How do people find it?
On medium.com.
Okay. And they just search what? Corine Marie?
Yes.
Without Boots? How they find it?
Just look at my profile, because every episode is on there.
Under Corine Marie?
Yeah. And my profile on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So the link will take you directly to the story. You don't got to look at, get on my Facebook.
What's your Facebook?
Click
is it
the
Corine
link.
Marie or
it's
Corine
Tindell.
Corine Tindell.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Beautiful. I mean, you guys got to check it out. This story is amazing.
Oh, Lord. They talking about the next season.
They ready for the next season. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Without Boots, man getting out of prison, men or women, it's a great story. Tells the story of a man struggling, trying to find his way, a woman, they fall in love, they build a life. And it's a scene coming up in this one. In this last episode?
Yeah.
What's up?
This last episthis is juicy. That's all I'm saying. So you guys need to be somewhere grounded.
Grounded in the Lord. This last episode is crazy.
You guys need to be somewhere grounded when you read this episode.
I'm a married man.
It's the very last episode, okay? So enjoy.
Rockin' knockin'.
And for every... Stop, babe.
No, I'm sorry.
So, you got me all confused.
I'm sorry. It's the last episode.
But when I'm done with this, it's going to be on Medium, maybe for like another month. Or maybe another 2 or 3
this is not that long. I'm about to say it's fine to pull it because it's time to.
So if you don't read it on Medium, I'm going to publish it as a paperback book and also an ebook. So
coming soon.
Yeah,
and if you read it on Medium, you're still going to want to support and get the real book when it comes out because you want it on your shelf. But this next episode, she was reading me, this next episode, and I was sitting there, and I was like,
laughing at Sharice.
My mouth was open. I was like, oh my God, it is wonderful. Well written. If you guys know, those viewers who are on here, many of you said it, my wife is a talented writer.
Thank you.
Gifted. It is crazy. I live with you. I know you. And I'd be like, how do you do this? She's the most creative person I've ever met. Beautiful, detailed. When she writes books, if you haven't read her book, A Small Piece of Her Heart, or her other books, the details, the characters feel like people you know. You be going to sleep, waking up like, how are they doing? They okay? Where they at? Right? Like, they're real people. So make sure you check it out on Medium.com. If you've never heard of Medium, it's a place where articles and books and things are released and written, and you can support different authors and writers and creators. She's on there as Corine Marie on Medium, but if you go to her Corine Tindell Facebook, you'll be able to find the link to all the episodes. Is there a small fee for being on Medium or something?
Yeah, it's $5 a month.
$5 a month to be on Medium. You support different writers and authors and creators. And check it out.
Yeah, if you just want to, read it real quick, you can pay $5, read it for a month. It's only going to be on there for like another 2 weeks.
So you go ahead and pay that $5. You might be able to knock it out, $5. Yeah. But then when the book come out, you want to make sure you get that.
Sharice, she said, is a mic on season 2. Listen, let me tell y'all. I told you I first wrote this as a movie script. Your girl is trying to turn my stuff into movies.
Yes.
And that takes, some time. When
COVID
hit,
we had a little holler with my man at Netflix, though.
Yeah, we did. I sent my script to somebody at Netflix. So.
And Keena Ferguson just said Netflix is looking for some stuff. Are you on her email list?
I don't know.
You gotta check that out. She just said Netflix is looking for some stuff.
I'm applying to all kind of opportunities, you guys.
Never know.
And you know what happens when you apply to opportunities? Something lands. So you will see my stories on a screen near you one of these days.
Yes.
So
shout
be
out.
patient with your girl on the season 2.
Right. Tamika over here still missing Daniel and Aubrey. We get it. We get it. One other thing I want to shout out is the Man Manual, 10 Steps to Better Understanding Your Man. This is a book I wrote a few years ago. It's a book to women. Now, it says 10 Steps to Better Understanding Your Man. Somebody's like, I ain't got a man, so I don't need the book. No, you need the book. You might have a man, you might not have a man. It really gives you some steps. It is a manual. Like you can open up to chapter 7 and read about overheating, say. How do you not overheat your man? We talk about men as an electronic device. I talk about men as like, how do you get him out of the box? What if men were a supercomputer, which is what God made us to be, men and women? He made us more powerful than any computer. But a lot of times we don't know how to get a man out of his box because we don't realize that he's fragile. And from a man's perspective, I tell the ladies, here's what you need to know about men. Here's some simple instructions. It's an easy to read book. It's not too thick. And you can be going through something and you can be like, let me flip to the chapter on before you buy. Before you buy a book, before you buy a man, before you get a man, not buy a man, before you get a man, what are some things that you can look for? What are some things you can do? What are some red flags you need to check for? I talk about that in this book. This book is also available at TindellTraining.com. There's a chapter on assembly. How do you build a man up? I know you can't raise a man. That's fine, but you certainly can build a man up. And women who have this foolish philosophy of, I ain't going to build no man. If he ain't a man already, I ain't got time. Well, I'm not saying you get a boy and you're trying to turn a boy into a man. I'm saying you get a man.
Don't do that.
That must have, everybody has some brokenness.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be built up. My wife has built me up. I built her up. That's how relationships go.
You want to hang
this
on
is
to
on
a
Amazon
thread,
as well.
you know, so.
You're right.
Yeah.
Tina, this is on Amazon as well. The Marriage Plan is only available at TindellTraining.com. The Marriage Plan, the Man Manual, your other books, A Small Piece of Her Heart, What Her Heart Desires, Preparing
That's
Her Heart.
That's on CorineMarie.com.
They're also available.
Yeah.
And available on CorineMarie.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been so much fun. We thank you guys. LinkedIn, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. We got people from everywhere today. It's cool we have some LinkedIn business people checking out the Love Show because everybody wants some love in their life.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll have to come on and do it again.
I would love to.
There's a lot of stuff we didn't even get to talk about.
We should do this more often.
Yeah.
You down?
I'm down.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're committing.
I like the Lucas Live show. I be on here every episode commenting, liking, throwing up my hearts.
I appreciate it.
I'm a fan.
I appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. And she saw this thing grow from nothing to something, and you supported me.
I'm proud of you, babe.
Thank you. You believed in me. You supported
Lucas
my investments.
Live fan right here. Lucas Live fan.
Yes. Cherise said, do we sign up for coaching on your site? I think I might have something on the site. If not, message me, Cherise. Now, Cherise, I owe you a free session. One free session. We got one free session. I think I owe you because you've been a loyal supporter, and I offered you this because you've taken my training. I have social media for singles available still. If you're interested in that, that's not on my website, but reach out to me. Magnetic Social Media. I talk to singles about how do you put your social media profiles together in a way, how do you post in a way that attracts people? I use these things on LinkedIn to connect with business people, and I'm teaching people how to use it on Facebook, Instagram, other social media platforms, because you're telling a story about yourself, whether you know it or not. You're like, I just wanted to post this thing because I was in a bad mood, and you're not realizing some guy has been watching all your posts, and then he sees that post, and he's like, ugh. Or some girl is watching your post like, ugh. You didn't have to say that because they don't get the full context of the full story. All they see is you saying all men are crazy. And then they may not reach out to you. So I help people with that. That's available as well. You guys, we have a lot to offer everybody. And I'd love for you to do this some more. So why don't we'll get this thing rolling. I almost want to add a day of the week just to get you on. But we'll work it out. We'll get you in here.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
And make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been great. Thank you guys so much for your love and support.
Yes.
This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys. You guys, make sure you share this replay. Make sure you tell somebody about it. Text it to somebody. If they're like, I don't have Facebook, tell them, look up Lucas Live Media on YouTube. They can watch it there. And soon this will be coming to you as an audio podcast. We're working on that as well. And we're working our way toward our 100th episode. We'll be there before we know it. Yes. Thank you guys for your love and support. Again, my name is Lucas Tindell.
I'm Corine Marie Tindell.
And we're a power couple powered by God. Amen. So we'll see you guys again soon. See you guys tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. for another episode of Lucas Live. We have a book publisher. She's a publisher. She's a model. She's a screenwriter. Someone who's going to be a wonderful guest on tomorrow, Felicia. And we're excited to have her. Make sure you guys check us out tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. If you've never watched Lucas Live before, thank you for being here. If you've watched us many times, we still appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everybody,